battery's about to die on that thing, so I'll just let her die.
They're ready, Ken.
I'm
telling you.
Oh, I'm gonna can this one.
Can it in your mouth?
You hear me can that one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Them are good.
Yeah, they are.
They are ready too.
Mm-hmm. They fall off in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, boy, they do too. 2 more days.
Yeah,
these will all be on the ground.
2 more days and we'd have lost them.
Mm-hmm.
Lost one right there. Dryland apricots.
Oh, they're just falling.
Yeah.
Pineapple apricot.
Oh man,
that's some good stuff there, man.
Boy.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Once in a while, guys stop and can one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bam.
Wow. Oh, God. I'm surprised there ain't more birds down here.
Boy, this is the life, ain't it?
This is.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and especially squirrels, how y'all are? Hey, it is an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous day here in the Great Northwest. Here it is, the middle of January, 21st, Martin Luther King Day, and it is about 41 degrees at my elevation, 2,370 feet, and it's usually about I don't know, 5-7 degrees warmer downtown. So it's probably super nice down in Kerwood country. You know, in that last video, somebody commented and said that moved the camera so fast, which I apologize for that. I didn't have my tripod, and I did a horrible job of filming that day and made some of you guys sick to your stomach. And I'm sorry, but one guy commented and said it moved too fast and he didn't get to see what kind of gloves Kermit was wearing, so I've been calling Kerwood old Kermit ever since then.
3, 2, 1.
I said, you know that name's gonna stick. Yeah, I know. So anyway, we're still having a good time, and I just had a strange thought pattern that ran through my brain. See what you guys think about it. What do you think about going for a ride in Rat Rod here in the middle of January? What has no windows, no heater, and of course no snow tires. Let's see how many of you, show of hands, how many of y'all think that's a good idea? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4,500 of you thinks it's a good idea. So let's see how it goes. I haven't started the old Rockabilly. It's been sitting out there all winter, but being an old Chevrolet, I suppose if you choke him enough, he'll probably start. We'll see. If the battery's up good, he should turn over all right and fire up. But in order to get him out of his little parking place, I will have to move the Dojelac. So we need to see if it'll start. Also, I don't know. They, like I said, they've both been sitting out there all winter. So, well, all winter. Not that long yet. Been sitting back there since about November, I guess. So, October, something like that. Anyway, let's go see if the old rigs will fire up, and if the Rockabilly will fire up, and we can get him out of there. I need to bring the Dojelac in anyway because I got a project I need to do on that. I got a little bit of work to do on it, and I'll show you all that later. But you know, I know you're anxious for me to get going on that B12 project, and I am too. But if I don't do these little projects on the Dojelac, there's a couple of things. If I don't finish them up and start on that V12, then I never will finish them up. I know me well enough and my ADD and how all that works, so I need to just make myself finish up these couple of things on the Dojelac. And And we'll go from there. But right now, let's go see if them old flavors will start up. Well, got to tighten up the fuel line. It's leaking right on the manifold. Ain't that a revolting development? Go get a screwdriver and I'll be right back. Have a little handy tool set here. I'm thinking what I might do is cut the end of that hose off and get back to some fresh hose there, some better hose. You know, I'm not a mechanic. All I know is what I learned watching my dad. He wasn't really a mechanic either, but I grew up on a little farm and we didn't have money to go get anything fixed, take anything to town or take it to the shop or hire somebody. We didn't have money for that, so we just had to learn how to fix things. He always had an old 49, 50 Chevy, something of that era. So I kind of grew up learning how to work on those old 216s, later on the 235s, but mostly 216s. And I could have learned a lot more from him if I'd have been paying attention a little better. But anyway, I'm not a mechanic. I haven't had any real, very much formal schooling. I just kind of learned by doing, and you do a lot of things wrong, but one thing I do is I really have a good time. I have a lot of passion for this old iron, and I just love making these old motors run. And this one had sat, no way of knowing how long, and boy, it was fun hearing this thing fire up for the first time. Open these shop doors, let a little bit of the smoke out. Well, the reason for all that smoke is I put some oil in those cylinders to get enough compression built up for the thing to start. I come out here last night. I was out here till about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just started with the points, and I thought, I wonder, and I filed those points and got them cleaned up and got them adjusted and set in there and wired up the old coil that was on it. Wired that up and put a little switch in there so I could turn my power to the points on and off.
And you know, that old fuel pump, I didn't even try that. Just hooked up a little electric 12-volt fuel pump on there. But anyway, I got spark, you know, and so I checked at the plug, and I had spark at the plugs, and I'm sure it's backfiring because all these old wires are just chewed up and falling apart, and it's probably jumping fire all over the place there. But I pulled the spark plug out, and I had spark on most of the plugs. I had to change them out. One of them was not firing, but anyway, when I saw I had spark, and that was pretty exciting. And then I took this carburetor apart this evening and cleaned it up and put it back together and got the plunger working in there, and the float was stuck, and I got that fixed. And you know, these things are just so simple. They almost have to run if they got compression. And I squirted a lot of oil in there and let it sit overnight, so kind of seep down around the rings and build up enough compression to start. I've done that before and got rigs to run. So anyway, that was fun. Got the old girl to fire up. I just knew she would. I mean, it's a Chevrolet. Come on, it's got to run.
Betcha. It's got the old open, there's no such thing as a PCV valve back there. It's just got slots in the valve cover here, and it just smokes as you go down the road, and it goes in the cab, and you just breathe it, and oh, it's just awesome. Alright, let's see what she does this time. My little rockabilly toolkit put together here. Now, work up a sweat down here. Alright, contact. We'll see if the Dojelac will fire up. If I can get in it, get my old fat body in there. Somebody parked that Dodge a little bit close. I'm gonna have to inch it over a little. I know it'll run. No, it will start. By the way, I'm not claiming these to be a cold start of any sort. They have not set out that long, and they have not been and it's not that cold. However you perceive a cold start, heard it both ways. I think it has more to do with a rig that's set for a long time without any attention, more so than it is to do with temperature. But you hear it both ways. Anyway, this is neither of those. Okay, it appears we don't have battery in this one. If we do, completely dead, but that don't seem right, so I'll have to investigate that. But I think for the time being, I'll just move the Impala and we'll go out that way. It won't hurt it to start up and warm up good anyway. Be good for it. 1932 engine in this rig. Let's roll him in, air up the tires, check the oil and the gasoline, and bundle up real good and go for a ride in the middle of January with no winders. We can close the Safari windshield though. I'll knock some of the dirt off that. Oh no, I got a little crack in my windshield. Haven't seen that before, that's new. Too bad. Original glass. Oh well, be easy to cut another one if it's flat. Master switch for all the lights. Okay. We'll check a few things over and then I'll get back with you. Y'all pile in there now.
A Chevrolet dealer who knows what used cars are worth and trains his organization to pay what they are worth will be a much better Chevrolet dealer at the end of the year, both for himself and the company. The Chevrolet Motor Company believes that Chevrolet dealers can improve themselves financially in 1933. But to accomplish this, a certain few definite things need to be done by every dealer to get a better profit out of his business. First, do not permit your expenses to increase. In some instances, they should be further decreased. Second, see to it that you add to your gross or overall income by bringing in more profit through your service department. Next, do not be led into a bad used car situation, either by overbidding or permitting your stocks to accumulate. And last, have an aggressive selling organization. While the product that we have appeals to the public, and perhaps it will be easier to sell than heretofore, nevertheless a good product requires aggressive selling if you are to get from your territory all of the business as well as all of the profit that is there for an aggressive dealer. We want you to get all of the business you can, and we want you to protect the Chevrolet Motor Company in turn by giving us the business to which we are entitled from your community. We confidently expect an increase in volume over 1932. We believe this is a reasonable goal because our market has been broadened. The public recognizes the greater values and advanced features offered by Chevrolet. We started 1933 with the largest bank of unfilled orders we have had in several years. All of these factors are in our favor, and we already have a flying start toward our objectives.
Tune in next time and hear old Waylon say, and I'm not nice to it. I drive it hard as I need to get up this canyon.
I want to thank you for coming here and bringing your department heads with you. I feel sure that the program we have arranged will be interesting and profitable. In conclusion, we pledge to you our continued cooperation and support, and wish for you a successful year in 1933.